Hey guys, how's it going? Been a while since I made a plan explain, but decided I'd jump in tonight and do another one for you guys. Just gonna play 200 Blitz and see what happens. Normally this is a fold, but against a min raise, gonna be in there. Pretty good board for me. I think with ace deuce, I'm gonna stab. Can get some better ace highs to fold. Some random 2-over cards. Pocket 8's gonna mix. Rolled high, so go ahead and 3-bet this time. Doesn't look like there's a ton of people in the pool right now, so it might take a minute or two. We'll see. To switch tables and stuff, but looks like it's moving pretty fast. There's only 21 players in the pool right now. Anyway, ace 2 suited, easy defend versus min raise. Never doing anything except check call and flop here. Face half pot, pretty much. Easy call, like I said. So this turn is pretty interesting. If he nukes the turn, I think this hand just folds because we don't really have any bluffs versus value range, and then a lot of his bluffs will have super high equity against us. As played, I think we can small bet and target kings, queens, jacks, 10s, 9s, etc. Or not 9s obviously, but yeah, 8x. Ace 4 suited gonna mix. Again, rolled pretty high, so get in there this time. And really good for board for us. Shouldn't really have any 5x. Maybe he'll have a sliver of ace 5 suited. He'll have some 10s, jacks, maybe some queens occasionally, but those are 4-bet at some frequency. Either way, I'm gonna start with a half pot bet. Some good backdoor equity with our hand. So I'm gonna assume this guy's a recreational player, and for that reason I'm gonna raise with this type of hand. But I've never seen this player before, and it's pretty uncommon to play a limping strategy at these stakes. Just with the rake so high, it doesn't really make sense. So I think I'm fine to just ISO the limp pretty wide. Deuces again should be a mix, but I think I'm gonna just go ahead and open it for the video. Just gonna check back turn here, and pretty good river for us obviously. And I don't really see much value in raising when he takes a polar size here. Same hand, chop it up. Okay, pocket kings, get something going here. And I'm just gonna make it 5 blinds here. Could go bigger. I think this is fine. I'm actually gonna start with a check and kind of just see what he does. If we get a safe turn, we can start blasting, or yeah, lots of options. Once it goes check check, I think I'm just gonna start value betting. I'm gonna start with a small size. I don't want to build a huge pot on this turn. He can have 6x. Could potentially have a flush to check back. Want to encourage him to float with hands that are drawing dead or really thinly. So I don't think I want to nuke the turn. And we'll ISO him again here. So I think multi-way, I just have a clear check back with queen, no spade. And on the right, I'm gonna play high frequency small bet. I mean, this hand doesn't have great properties, but I think we're just gonna get a lot of folds. And ace queen, I'm just gonna keep checking down, try and somehow miraculously win, beat some weaker ace highs, some king highs. Folding these positions, check out what's going on here. Nuts. Good to know that guy oh, why is it showing me that hand? Weird. Anyway. And queen 9 suited will open. Ace queen will open as well. have to fold queen 9 to squeeze, unfortunately. Pocket 9s. On the left, I'm going to mix 4-bet and fold. Rolled fairly low this time, so fold. And on the right, I'll start with small bet and go from there. So I think this type of board strat is like big bet and check. I think you could also still 1/3 if you want to. I'm gonna check this hand back though. Kind of really is annoying if I get raised. Face large-ish turn probe. Just gonna call. Maybe could raise my hand low frequency, but I think still have enough showdown value. Just call. Pretty good river. Take that. And he bets a pretty large size. So he's repping like 2 pair plus, I would imagine, for this size. Maybe king queen with the king of hearts, but that seems a little bit thin still, to be honest. Polar here and shove, and I'll shove obviously the nuts, and I'll shove when I have flush blocker sometimes. And okay, well that worked out pretty well. Say no mix opening. Actually, they will do it this time. Guy might be a wreck. Really bad board for us. Pretty good board for big blind. I'm gonna check back. We have lots of backdoor equity, and 2 overcards would really suck to have to bet fold this type of hand. And versus the polar size on the turn, don't think I'm gonna play raises all that often. This seems like a good candidate to raise versus limp sometimes. I mean, I can't think of a better bluffing hand than this. This time, I'm not going to shove because he's not as polar. So I'm going to be raising a bit thinner for value. So in the last spot, I was going to jam like good flushes, and that's it. In this spot, I'll have all flushes raising and potentially even some straights that didn't raise the turn. Ace 8, easy to defend, blind versus blind. And we have nut gutter, backdoor, nut flush draw. Versus a polar size, I'm not really gonna raise the flop with anything, to be honest. So I think this hand's an easy call. And he checks the turn. I'm gonna do it this time, and I'm gonna be pretty polar here. Betting like good top pair and better, and dream scenario on the right. Gotta tank a little bit, you know. Gotta pretend like I'm thinking it over. This guy's likely a wreck with this 3-bet size. I'm just gonna call and hope he doesn't have ace king. Don't really see a point in raising versus this type of opponent. Okay, less likely is ace king, but could definitely have pocket kings. Jack 6 gonna mix some 3-bet as well, but this time I'll call. Pretty weird sizings on each street by this guy so far, but again, don't really think there's a point in raising. 9 should be a brick. On the left, I think I can stab this sometimes, but I'm gonna play lots of checking with this hand. Pretty good turn for our range, and Nice to pick up some equity with our hand. Okay, verse check. I mean, I can't imagine he has a trap that often. So I think we just have a clear value bet. And on the left, I'm gonna play half pot here. Basically, gonna be betting lots of hands for protection, so I don't want to use the polar size. Okay, he had ace jack, so I mean, maybe could have raised at some point in the hand and sacked him, but I'm pretty fine with my line there. Pretty good flop. With no good suit, I'm gonna check this a lot, but rolled 100, so. But at this time, different bluffs, and I will defend this on the left. Okay, pretty easy call on the right. Bang. That's what we were looking for. So, obviously he's very polar on the turn. He's repping mainly 2-pair plus, maybe some turned ace-x. I think I'm just gonna call. And I think once he checks, he like so rarely has a check call, but obviously we're just gonna shove. Nothing else for us to do really. But I'm pretty sure he just has like a flush draw that gave up, basically. Maybe he has like ace jack and he blocks all the calls, so we'll see. Yeah, kind of expect that to happen a lot once he checks over. Okay, on the left I'm gonna mix. This time I will call. Not a great flop. And just playing pure call on the left. On the right, I'm gonna start with a check. These boards are really bad for the in-position player and really good for the big blind. I'm gonna have a lot of like better hands to call than this. Like I block a lot of bluffs with having 2 10s, and then I'm gonna have hands that have better equity against his value, like even 6-5, 8-7, that type of stuff. So I think I'm actually gonna make kind of a tight fold here. Just don't block any value, block a lot of bluffs, and have very little equity. I think it's okay. And versus the block here, I mean, kind of block bluffs. We will 3-bet the ace king on the left. That's a better flop. I'm gonna start with a small bet. Still need to be somewhat careful on this board. Like you can have ace queen pretty often. You can have pocket queens. You can have pocket nines. And we're pretty deep, so definitely don't want to play a huge pot in that situation. Just gonna start with a small bet. We'll probably barrel this one pretty often. Against the check raise, obviously calling. Once he checks though, I think I will go ahead and bet. Obviously we're uncapped here, have tons of strong hands. So that worked out nicely. Gonna call here. A lot better versus 2.5 than 3x for sure. And pretty good board. and call. I think this time I will raise, rolled pretty high. And on the left, calling the 3-bet. Think, yeah, on another really high number. Go ahead and raise. Sorry, go ahead and overbet. I'm gonna be pretty polar here, like I'm repping very strong hands, so gonna overbet. And can get him to fold lots of 1-pair hands, which is great. On the left, call 3-bet and face check. Maybe bet super low frequency. And versus the big bet, even though we have a gutter, I think we have a fold just because we get coolered on the 7, obviously. And pretty low equity in general. Ace 10 off, mixing 3-bet call. 3-bet fold and going to 3-bet this time. And we take it down. Awesome. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I think we had some pretty interesting spots, although it was a bit of a slow start. If you have any questions about the hand, as always, make sure to leave a comment and we will get back to you. And check out the description. You have a link to our site if you guys are interested in coaching. We run a Coaching for Profits program, so if that's of interest to you, click the link in the description to see our site. Thanks so much, guys. See you next time.